Hey, painting students, we're going to go ahead and look at the images that we took for our food illustration. And if you're going to be working from a single photo, you might need to crop it so that it has a little bit better composition, or you might want to change the format to a square rather than a rectangle. So I'm going to show you how to do that using Photopea, which is an online photo editor. It's very similar to Photoshop if you've ever used that before. So I have directions for you. They're attached to the lesson, and you can go step by step through this assignment with visual examples of what it will look like. So use this as a resource. You can split screen it as you're working, and you can print it as well so that you can use it to select your imagery. So I'm going to go ahead and first start by opening from the computer. So you'll be able to open up from your Google Drive. I'm using my Mac, so I do not. And so I'm going to go to this photo that I selected. So I'm going to be honest, this is not my photo. I don't have peppermint ice cream at home. So I just got this picture from the internet. But this would be, one of my favorite things to eat this time of year. I'm a sucker for a hot fudge brownie sundae with peppermint ice cream. So I thought this would be a good shot to work from. And so what you're going to first need to do is to crop it in order for it to fit the board or the watercolor paper that you're going to stretch. So you have basically two different choices. You can either do a rectangle or a square. So you're going to go over to the side here and you're going to hit the crop button. And when you hit that, it's going to come up with a menu at the top. We're going to go ahead and go to fixed ratio. And so what we can type in is a 4:3 ratio. That's going to fit your illustration board. So I'm going to say 4 and 3, right? And that's going to set this for you. You could also set it so that it's 3:4 if you wanted to do a vertical image. You can see here that the cropping has kind of gone out of my view. And so if I actually go to view and go to zoom out, it will shrink the image a little bit for me so that I can see it. Sorry, the wrong thing here. I want to make it a rectangle. So if I go view, zoom out, that will allow me to see the whole thing. And because it's a fixed ratio, I can drag a corner. If I didn't do fixed and I just left it, I'd have to hold the shift button down and then drag the corner so that it would keep that right shape so that it is at a 4:3 ratio. So you can move this thing around. I'm just clicking and holding it to move it around for good composition. Now, my photo I took as a horizontal, and it doesn't really work well as a vertical painting. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this back to 4:3 and drag corners once again and select my composition. So I don't want it too centered, right? So we want to keep it at the center. Thinking about the rule of thirds, maybe putting your most important object off of it, maybe intersecting parts using where those grid lines mark up. I can shift it to the left or the right. I'm deciding what I want to include. Do I want the candy canes? Do I want the fudge? What do I want to paint? And if I like it, I can hit enter, right? If I didn't like it, I can hit undo and I can try this again. So let's say I want to do that 1:1 or 3:1 ratio. It's going to be a square, same thing, right? I can drag corners and then I can move this around to make sure that it's the image that I want it to be. I can hit enter, okay? So if I like it, I'm going to leave it like that for the crop. So I can go to image and adjustments, and let's say I want a little bit more value. I can move this off of it, and if I want more highlight, I can switch this over, and can you see how it's getting lighter? Now I would never move it that much. I might just tweak it just a little bit so it has more highlight, especially in that hot fudge. It's rather dark, so it's hard for me to see the detail. And then sometimes I move the black over so there's a little bit more shadow, right? So it has a little bit more depth. And you'll notice that if I move the white or the black dot, or square I should say, the gray always moves. If you mess with the gray, it really does wash out or darken up your image. So I normally just mess with the white and the black. So once I have a value that I like, I hit OK. The last thing you want to do before you start to finalize your image is you're going to take it to image size, and you're going to unclick this resample, and you're going to set the DPI to 300 so that it's in good viewable pixel size. And so what you can then do is go to File, Export As. A JPEG works best, and you probably want to put it at 100% quality. And then you're going to save it, and it's going to download it to your device. You can always move this back into your folder so that you can then use it. And then you have the option of either printing this photo or just using it from your computer screen or your Chromebook screen when you are working on your work.